Show you real quick from yesterday. This was a case that I'd started working on, and it was probably about 2 hours into the 9 hour live. So by the time it was all said and done, I was able to piece together the portrait that goes in there, which is there's the portrait. It's a little bit clearer. So the story on this is that the girl found these forks in her garage. Nobody, the kids, nobody claimed that they did it. So anyway, she had posted in a public group about, did anybody make any sense of it? So of course I went looking for photos. So that set of photos started with the photo that I felt like I could see, which was that photo. So those were the two photos that I started out with. Found some information along the way. So that picture is literally this picture saved as a blank up here, just so I have it up here to grab when I need it. So we saved that picture, and when I started superimposing the same place, I could see her here. And I also knew I could see other things, other places in the photo, but I knew I could see her. So when I go back to that original, I can definitely see her. So just in sitting, looking through the pictures, and like I said, that was the first one that I came on, where I pretty much knew that picture was the picture that I could see. There are details in here you might not be able to see from here, but she has an oxygen line on. That is visible. So you can see it right here. You can see her nose, you can see her eyes, sockets, her mouth. But that line of her oxygen was what stood out to me. And when I saw this picture, then, really started looking at this picture, I could see the oxygen line that was coming in right here. So, keep taking it back down for you so you can see what I'm talking about. So we can even go deeper where you see. I didn't do a full dark one on this one because it covers, the whole picture basically covers the picture. So like I said, it was, really obvious. I could see her. I could see other things over here. So I'll point out this. Let's see what that is, because I don't even know if it's anything right now. It's really hard on the naked eye. What I see is this. So when I found the picture and fit it in, you can see indicators. There's an eye. There's an eye. So it was interesting over here working with his teeth, because this is what his teeth actually look like. And so he was about the only one. So what I wondered when I saw this, because let's look at his eyes and, his face, I should say. So when we click on the original picture staring at that, you can still see his eyes and his little mouth. But the picture with the teeth was what had thrown me off. So what I was wondering when I finally put this whole project together was just wondering if maybe this eye tooth maybe sticks out just a little bit further, that you can't really tell in a regular smile. But because everything else, let's point again to this eye, you can stare at anything that I'm circling. And you can definitely see that it's still in the photo. So what I was wondering was if that eye tooth maybe is pronounced a little bit, that you literally can't see when you're looking at the photo, because he's pretty much the only thing, that tooth was pretty much the only thing facial-wise that I couldn't make more sense of, I'll say. So then, once I was doing that, and I went back and was looking at the photo, after doing a little bit of research on the person that had posted, I was already, when I first found the photo, feeling something here also. So, when I put that with that, it kind of really doesn't make any sense when you lighten it a little bit. From what I see. So here is what I see. I see a baby. Okay, I see this as a baby. And so when I put the other picture in, it really just didn't make sense, what I could see as the baby's face, like a sleeping newborn. And then I found out that the girl who posted it, Crystal, she actually had twins when they were born. Now you can see the progression. I'll show you real quick. I had already found, these are my first two photos where I knew I saw her grandmother who had passed away. She said the story on this was when they got up and she saw the forks. Nobody said that they did the forks, but she had found out that her grandmother had passed away a few minutes after this. So it was just so odd to her, the two things hand in hand. So I had already seen this in this picture. So I just went through randomly saving pictures. This is actually, I'm almost positive, I'm not 100% because I don't know these people at all. But I'm pretty sure this is the boy twin of the twins that I showed you. So here's the little boy. This is the baby girl. And unfortunately, the baby girl did not make it. So there's the little boy, and there's his sister. I think her name is Abigail. I have to look on my notes. But Abigail did not make it. This is Abigail. So you can definitely tell a distinction between the two babies. You know, this is me just figuring it out because I don't know the people. So I could be completely wrong. That is definitely a possibility. Me and Spirit have had this situation before where that's how I originally started just learning to trust the messages that I got. So that's what I'm doing is basically trusting those messages. So yeah, so you can see I just kind of went through the progression of the first two I found and just started saving some photos. And, you know, this was the third photo I found, you know, just trying to get a picture of this lady. Because this is who I literally see here. And it was only from doing a little bit of searching that I was able to find, you know, clear shots of her face and stuff to be able to just go, oh, okay. She said her grandmother. She never posted a picture of her grandmother. She just posted the pictures of the forks. So what that means is I went through her profile and I found pictures. Let's see, I saved 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 pictures, 26 pictures I saved her cake. It just looked really good. But anyways, it was a total of 25 pictures that I saved. So there is the boy of the twins. I'm pretty sure his sister has, you know, died pretty close to birth because I don't see any pictures of them together other than newborn. So, like I said, this was just kind of the succession that I went through that I'll show you to get pictures of Grandma that she said passed. That's when I realized, when I saw this picture, and I didn't really realize because I didn't know that that baby was all the way up here at these babies that I saved. But that was Arabella, that was her name. Arabella Gracia Lopez. Gracia? Arabella? So, you know, I found some other random pictures too and just started kind of saving everything. I'm pretty sure that's the girl Crystal and her son, her first son, and her dad, probably. I had found a couple pictures of dad and the first son. This was another picture of mom, and I'm pretty sure that that is Crystal, and that could be a sister or something. So yeah, just to show you, I just go through someone's profile when they post a picture like this, and they're like, you know, this is so weird, this is so random, does anybody get anything? And I just start scanning the picture, and of course, you can see faces everywhere. That is, you know, a typical human reaction is to see something, go, oh yeah, I do see something right there. I'm not saying that that's not something, and where all I am saying is that my eyes lit on this, and then I could see other, you know, factors in it. So once I went snooping and found all my pics, see, you can tell right here that I went snooping before I saved the picture of the forks. Because I'm not going to, you know, waste more of my time than necessary. But when I stared at her pic that she put in the group, and that's when my face lit, that's when I went to her profile, found this picture right off the bat, and saved it, then went back and saved the forks, and then started collecting data. Found out about the baby who was a twin of the babies. Didn't know at the time that that was one of the twins. So just randomly saving pictures that I could. So you can see I'm just kind of saving, you know, just anything that looks like younger or, you know, true pictures. This looks like her and maybe her brother. I don't know. And there's my lady again. So this I found when I found out about the twins. And because of the blanket, you know, I've deduced that it is the baby that passed. So you can tell that the baby was probably, you know, newbornish. I'm sure, you know, probably, like I said, just based on the fact that I couldn't really find any pictures after that or before that. And they were just born in 2020. So it's a pretty fresh wound for Mama. And then her favorite, her Grammy, passed. And so when I looked at this picture too, I thought, oh, I bet you, you know, maybe that's Crystal, the girl who posted. So, and you can tell that she really loved her grandma. Grandma was super special to her. She cooked for her all the time and really took care of her. But Grandma had passed, and that's why she ended up posting the forks. Shortly after she found the forks is when she got the phone call about her grandma. This is her grandma with her children. This is actually the twin that Grandma, I believe, is holding here. So yeah, that's how this portrait started and came about. Found Grandma in the picture here. The other kids started filling out in the picture. I'll go back one more time for you. I mean, nostrils add up, eyeballs add up. So found that. I was pretty happy with that. And so went back and took everything out and noticed now what I saw originally was I saw a baby face that I told you. So that started me on my quest. Let's see. So here is where I saved the original again, like I told you I always do. And now I'm going to sit the baby's portrait in here. And you can determine for yourself. So we'll go back one more time just to let you see how it starts building in. Now you can really see that baby's face. Here we go. So that's the baby's face. Now I'm just going to point out a couple things. This is how I know that this is a match as well. If we're going to look up into this area right here where this dark is on the pavement. This is the baby's face. And we have this dark shadow up here. So when I first got ready to do the portrait, I will a lot of times take out the background, so just leave the baby's face to work with at first for what I see. I don't have any idea what anything else is. At that moment, all I can see is the face. So I did that, and it of course, it fits. But upon doing that, then I realized this dark part that I'm seeing up here. So let's go back to the original. So this is the dark patch. And I'll just start folding the picture in. So you can see where the picture starts coming in and, making a difference. So there's the original. Baby's face being here. So I started understanding more that I was being led to keep that in the photo because it symbolizes to me what I'm supposed to find. So I was supposed to find this whole shadow. And no, it doesn't add up perfectly because there's still a piece here. But this kind of makes me still feel like there's a need to express leaving the backgrounds in the pictures and not just cutting out the baby's face because it's what fits and what I see. So I have been not doing that as much. I'm going to point out things like this electrical box back here, which is in the original picture, and whatever this is right here that you can't tell. So we can still see them in the background here when we can see the baby's face. So I'm going to walk a step backwards. And so you can still see this and this. And the picture still is superimposed. It's probably like on about a 7 or a 9. So we're going to stare at these two objects here and take that away. So you can still see the electrical box right here. And you can also see there's some commotion, but there's a space between the two. So we'll put that back in there real quick. We'll go back again, step down. You can still see there's clearly a box here with, stare at that dot right there for a second for me, with a plug. And even on this right here, you can definitely see the same lines. And when you step up and step back down, and like I said, how you can still see plugs as well. Now, I posted yesterday, and I haven't made it public yet, but there is a certain thing called after vision. Let me make sure. I think that's what it's called. I'll post it. I'll make it public in a little while. But after vision also plays a significant role in why it has to be more. You have to be able to see this baby's face without the baby's face being on there, because if not, it'll be accused of being an after vision type of scenario. So if I can get you to see that baby's face right there before I show you that baby's face right there, then that kind of negates the after vision. Now, of course, you saw it kind of lit up when I let off of it, but now when you look at this picture, you will see baby's face. And we're way past right now. We're after vision, I believe the longest recorded after vision was about almost 14 seconds. I could be wrong, but regardless of how long the recorded version is, you can still see baby's face. You can still see baby's face, and you can still see grandma. So it was important to me to redo the portraits after that because I need you to, this is a blank, and this is the whole portrait together. So we have baby here. That was the girl baby, and her twin brother sitting here. This is brother. Oh no, I think that's the girl. I'm sorry, hang on. I need to look. Yes. So that's a little girl and her baby brother. Remember, the eye tooth is what throws me off on that image. When I look at this image, you can definitely see her in the image as, female. This is a boy, and a boy. So when we put all that together, and I'll go back and forth, I'll toggle for you. You can literally see everyone. And after vision does play a role on some parts. Like, let's look at his eye with the thing over top of it. But let's look at this eye and fade it out. So after vision will take that away from you more in spots like that. And so that's why it has to be signature spots that you can make out and see without anything there. As long as I show you, I say, do you see that woman right there? You would probably say, yes, I do see someone. Do you see that newborn infant sleeping right here? You see something, right? And so then I just put logic to the picture. So this is what I also talk about too, about how people go, oh my God, I do see faces. We do see faces and stuff. And that's a natural human reaction. The odd thing about soul portraits, well, it's not odd, but when you first are like, wow, this is really bizarre, is because everything, pictures match up. I don't have to manipulate pictures. I don't manipulate any pictures. That's why I choose to do this live, so that can be a known, established fact that this is not a case of picture manipulation. I am taking photos that, excuse me, photos that, sorry, photos that are unmanipulated. And because I can turn the photo and make it more transparent and fit this in there, then once I fit her where I feel like that she was, then the other things came into play too, where I could then see other faces that originally I saw anyways. I knew there was something in this area. It looks like it's right here. And it looks like it's right here. I see faces. We see faces everywhere. You can see faces in everything. But when I saw it and I took this picture and found the other picture that goes over top of it and it fits in flawlessly, what this looks like right here is actually somebody's eye. That ends up being her eyebrow. And this darker, let me show you the original. So you can see the eyebrow right here. And then whatever this darker patch is right here. So, we have to be able to let go of what we want to see. Because when I see that photo totally different. I see that woman's face in there. And I see it also in the same direction as you also see it, because that's where I'm more highly sensitive, is literally, instead of just being like, oh yeah, that looks like a nose and an eye. And it may be that for me sometimes, but this was really standoutish. So like I said, I don't manipulate the photos. This is the photo. I just fit what I saw in there, which was her, and didn't take anything else out of the background. That's why I decided to not take anything out of the baby's background, because it literally, and not perfection, it's not perfect, but it does definitely play a factor in where I'm supposed to be looking. And the first, when I put the face here, I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's the top of the hat. It doesn't match up all the way. But what you notice when I just took that away was this little outline, and that's literally where you can still see it. And like I said, after vision does play a role. I don't deny that at all, but this goes beyond after vision. So I do believe this is something that would be beneficial to be looked into more. And so that concludes my 40-minute live on, why I'm doing this morning live in front of others instead of just a personal hobby. And, I started out doing it also because it really legitimately brings comfort to knowing that, you found this odd thing, you took a picture of it, you found out your grandma passed away. And then I point out that you can see grandma right here. What other way was she going to get your attention? To let you know it's okay. She's still with you. She's still with you no matter what you just heard this morning on that phone call. She will always be right with you. You were special to her as much as she was to you, so she's not going anywhere. It just has to be a different kind of relationship now. And that's okay, because you still get to have one. This is a true blessing, if you ask me. On the day that, a few minutes later you get that phone call. It would be so cool if we could see this and, other people could see this, and I don't even know that I would see this in person. It's these photographs that capture. I believe that this is happening all around us. I believe that every small face that we have in here, and this maybe makes me guilty of that disease, but I believe in all these faces. These are all important. Do you see this cheekbone and these lips and that nose? And don't get me wrong, the other photo can show you where other things fit in, but there are more faces. There are more things to be found within this photo. You know. So like I said, I do believe that this is happening all around us all the time. It's able to be captured. I mean, that could be a whole other thing right here within itself. I honestly believe that it has to do with the intent behind what I find. I didn't have any idea until I saw that photo of what her grandma possibly even looked like. All I knew is I saw somebody that kind of probably sort of could have resembled grandma. And so, upon fitting her in, you have to be willing to let go of where you want that face to be sitting and looking. Because a lot of times, that's going to end up being just an indicator, a marker of things. So now you can see it once I take it away. Then you can see how the lips were. Then you can see that this is actually the eyeball. This is actually the brow. This is that darkness above that. So yeah, this is Soul Portraits. Welcome to Spirit's reality. Alright, so that's 45 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break here, use the restroom, and get ready to work on these Diane, Bungie, and Daniela's cases. So, be back shortly. Thanks for watching, everybody. So I'll leave that up for you, and I'll be back.